Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Bite Size Business School Videocast. In this episode, I want to talk about what my plans are going forward with Bite Size Business School, especially the business plans and strategies going into 2015. And I'll kind of just do a quick review of what I've done up to this point so that you can better understand what's going to be going on going forward. When I started Bite Size Business School, I wanted to provide very small, bite-size business courses. And a lot of my experience is in programming. And so I started creating a few programming courses and putting them on Udemy. And when they started selling, I kind of fell into just creating more programming courses and got away from the core of what I wanted to do with Bite Size Business School. So I wasn't creating the business courses that I should have been creating. And I have started creating some of those courses and will create more of them. And so the first year was kind of figuring out where things are going. The second year was about growth. And Bite Size Business School revenue-wise on a monthly basis definitely did grow and is continuing to grow. And now I need to reach a whole nother level of revenue, monthly revenue with Bite Size Business School. And that's what I'm going to talk about in this video cast about how I'm going to do that. So some of the things I need to do are around my courses and how they're distributed and marketed. Right now, I'm doing a lot of courses on Udemy. So you can see the courses here and SkillFeed, and they do very well. But the problem is Udemy restricts you quite a bit from what you can do in your marketing. So I can't send people to my site. I can't get their emails. I can't market to anyone in a free course. There's just too many restrictions to upselling, and if I've got a book, I can't shoot a link and market that book on Amazon, and it seems to be getting more and more restrictive. So for Udemy, at least, I need to just think about it as if I put a course on Udemy, that's kind of the end point. That course is now in the world of Udemy, and it can't leave that world. It has to stay there, and I can only market my existing paid courses to anyone in a paid course. And I don't know how restrictive it's going to get going forward. I imagine it will be more. So to grow Bite Size Business School, I need to get away from that, not completely, because Udemy is a very good source of revenue, but I need to bring those courses to the Bite Size Business School website, where I've got complete control over the funnel, which is how someone comes to a course, what happens through that course, what happens after that course, what happens when they come to the course and they're ready to buy, what happens immediately after they buy, what are the emails they get. I've got control over all that. And very importantly, I have their email address. So now they're on my list. They're my customer. They're not Udemy's customer or a shared customer with me and Udemy. But Udemy has more of that customer than I do. So in order to kick revenues up to another level, I need to start selling courses out of Bite Size Business School, where I can then sell more of the Bite Size Business School products. They'll ride off the coattails of that course sell and offer more products to customers buying those courses. And then I'm not restricted to just selling courses at that point. Now I've got these customers on my list. There's other things that, depending on what they have purchased, I believe that they'll want to buy, and I can market that, whether it be a book, an audio book, or something else that customer seems to fall into this particular category for purchasing that product. So that is a big part of my 2015 strategy, and I'm already preparing for that and laying infrastructure for that. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what that infrastructure is, and I just want to talk about Udemy a little bit. So one of the things they did was they did all these course images for me. They contacted me and said, hey, we want to redo your course images. I was very surprised at what they did here because to me this is extremely basic. And I had a few people look at this and give me some feedback. And they're like, well, the background's all the same on these things. There's nothing really standing out on these courses that, for example, this is Photoshop Accelerated right here is an extremely popular course for me. And they didn't really do anything special for it. So I'm going to go back and put all my old images actually in another video cast. I'll show a comparison side by side. Maybe you guys can decide and leave some feedback on what you think. And I actually wrote Udemy and just said, this is, I appreciate it, but this is very basic. I think I'm just going to go back to what I had before. So, it was worth the shot because some of the images they do are very nice, but I think they just slapped this together very quick. I don't know why, because I don't think it's any better than what I had before. But like I said, I'll do a comparison and you guys can see and maybe leave some feedback of what you think is better. So going back to Bite Size Business School, another thing I plan to do as part of my USP, part of my unique selling position in my marketing is to bring in a theme of getting things done in 60 seconds. This is going to permeate throughout my courses so that there's these bite-sized 60 seconds of how to do something. And it's going to go out throughout all my courses. It's also going to, for example, go into this videocast. So in these videocasts, I don't know if this one's going to have it, but going forward, a lot of them should. I'm going to start off with 60 seconds of a complete summary for the videocast. And that way, when you come to watch the videocast, if you just don't have time and you just want what's going on, what are the main points, you'll get it in 60 seconds and done. And if you want to hang around for the details, which I think are going to add a lot of value, you can certainly do that. And the reason for this is that people are in such a hurry now, and you have to really hit them and grab them, and that's what this 60 seconds is about. And I can't say for sure if I'm going to hit them and grab them and they'll hang around for the complete episode, but I'll give it a shot. And at least I'll have them for hopefully those 60 seconds. And maybe if it's strong enough, if the content in that 60 seconds is strong enough, I'll be able to hold them and they'll hang around for the rest of the video cast. But if they don't, at least I got them for that little bit, and it was strong enough to get them into the video cast, get them listening, and hang around at least for a little bit. And that way the end game there is to have them say, okay, this is interesting enough. This is 60 seconds. I really like this thing. Maybe I don't like it enough to hang around for the whole thing, but I like this 60 seconds. This is great. And the end game is that they come back and listen to the next episode. But it's a theme. It's going to be a theme throughout a lot of my products. And so I'm actually I haven't started yet, but I will get a logo design, and I'm going to do that at 99 Designs. And there's a few places you can get like the upgrade package that lets your offer stand out a little bit. And so I'm going to use that. I'm going to just see what some of the suggestions will be. So it's $2.99 to do this. This is the bronze package, and you get 30 designs. So I've heard so many great things about 99 Designs, and I'm going to give it a try and see what happens. So I'll have a logo with a slogan. I'm thinking something like a stopwatch, and then get it done in 60 seconds. And I want it so that I can tweak this logo, the slogan a little bit, so the design cannot be dependent on the text. There'll be some dependency, but I don't want it so that it's designed so well that you can no longer change your slogan. The slogan likely will need to be around the same length, but at least I'll have a little flexibility in the wording. And I will use that on the 60-second tutorials that I'm going to put out. I'll use it in this video cast at the beginning. And it'll just be a product line, basically, is what that's going to be. So the branding across that is very important because it is going to be a USP for Bite Size Business School. It needs to stand on its own, more or less. It's going to be under the Bite Size Business School umbrella, but as far as branding, it needs to be very strong. So that's why I'm investing money into creating a really nice brand. And I can push it, I can let it stand out, it'll look nice, and it's going to be something that's going to catch people's eye and say, oh, okay, yeah, this is one of the 60-second tutorials. This is great. So that's something I'm planning to do as far as USP. Another thing is that I'm going to be going with a completely different theme for Bite Size Business School website. I'm going to go with Optimized Press. And the reason I'm planning to do that, I'm just going to go to Optimized Press website. I think their video starts automatically, and I'm going to try and pause this. I really like this theme, so I'll pause that. What I want is this stretching across from one end to the other end of the screen. So I like that a lot, at least for the home page. And when you get into like the blog, you can do sidebars. So here's a sidebar. I think this is going to be important for showing other products, related products, other information that I might want to put in front of the customer, especially if a blog post is hot. There's a lot of people going to it. Then I can capture that audience. I can advertise some more relevant information to them. Bite Size Business School is about generating money. It's about selling. So that's one of the things this theme needs to be able to do. It needs to be marketing oriented. Right now, I have thesis, and I had them for a while. And it's time consuming to use thesis, at least for me. And because I'm doing everything pretty much myself, I need services and products that can do something amazing very quickly and aren't labor intensive, because I'm not at the point yet that I want to go off and get virtual assistants. That's kind of going to be a whole nother ball game whenever I reach that point, because that will eat up some time in managing them, getting the right ones. You imagine I will have to go through a few to get it right, and I'm not at that point. So I'm sort of using these services and products as a way to alleviate that, to push that off, to continue to push that off until I kind of reach a point where it's just, I can no longer push it off. But Optimized Press is marketing oriented, great landing pages, prefabricated. I mean, I'd still need to put in my own content, obviously, but there's great layouts for sales pages and landing pages. I think the themes in here are really nice. A lot of videos to show you how to use Optimized Press. And I think it's going to save me a lot of time in putting together my blog. And also at the same time, it's going to look great. So that's some of the reasons I'm going with it. It's marketing oriented. It's not programmer oriented. So I don't need to worry about all kinds of short codes or getting into CSS and tweaking it. I don't want to do that. I mean, I know CSS and HTML quite well, but I know they're also time consuming, and this is not the route I want to go. I need this thing to be very user friendly, very quick. Quick is the main thing I need it to be. And to kind of lay out the full infrastructure for Bite Size Business School, now we're just going to look at the infrastructure of how this is going to get put together and the different components that I'm going to need to accomplish it. So on the front end, I know there's going to be Optimized Press. This is going to be utilized for its themes and some of the sales and landing pages, but not all of them. The majority of them are going to come from another service, which I'll talk about shortly. So here we have Optimized Press. This is the front-facing part of the website. Optimized Press because marketing oriented, very easy to deal with. I don't have to spend a lot of time getting a great looking website. Okay, now on the back end, there's going to be membership. This is going to host the courses and any other membership related content that I want. this is going to use Digital Access Pass. At least that's the front runner right now for this. Optimized Press has a membership component, so why not use it? And the reason there is because DApp is more powerful in that regard. DApp really does well with upsells, downsells. So again, this is getting back to taking complete control of my funnel. And it integrates with a lot of the payment systems. There's just more you can do with DApp than you can with Optimized Press. Now, another thing I need or that I'm wanting is great looking sales pages that I don't have to build from scratch. Now, Optimized Press has these, but I also want to do A/B split testing. I want to know which are performing well, and it would be nice if I could start with one that's already doing well converting to sales. So for this kind of thing, for landing pages, for sales pages, I'm going to use a service called Lead Pages. So that's where I'm going to get templates that have already proven themselves to convert well. Lead Pages has a lot of that. Also has A/B split testing. So that is all part of the front end components of this. This right here is front end and kind of stops there. Now I need a way to host my courses. I don't want to do it just on my server because that can present issues. I'm still in a shared environment at this point. And people I've spoken to, like Amazon S3, but it's a disjointed service. So you have to upload to Amazon S3, and Amazon S3 is not the most user-friendly thing to deal with. Then you've got to worry about your player because you don't have a player yet. You've got to get one and do something with that. You can use the HTML5 video tag, or you can go get your own like JW Player or something. I'm looking for speed. I need this to all go very fast. So to accomplish that, what I am planning to do is use a service called Vimeo. Now Vimeo, I can upload my videos, set a few parameters, such as only display them from bitesizebusinessschool.com, and they can mark them so they don't show up in the Vimeo searches. I also get a player, a great player that's completely mobile compatible. So I don't need to worry about is my player going to work or not? Do I need to do something else? Did I forget to do something to make it work on mobile? I'll be able to set a default for my parameters. Select that default every time I upload a video. So that's very fast, very efficient. It's also cost effective. So we're going to look at all of these and see what they are about and look at some of the pricing behind them as well. So this is the Digital Access Pass website. You can just type in Digital Access Pass and you'll see their website come up. I am going to go to start off with the first one here, the DAP1 site. It's got enough of the features that I need. So I don't need like unlimited license or anything like that. But it's got the shopping cart, content dripping, affiliate module. A lot of the core components I want are in there. Now, if I look at this higher end one for $39.99, let's see, I've got premium support, strategy brainstorming. This right here is something that I'll want. Now, the credit card store, not sure about that one. Sign up to unlock is a good one. And S3 Media Vault, which is good for protecting videos. I think Vimeo will handle that. I'll have to really check. They have the light to unlock, which is nice as well. So as it pop up, that's good. And that's it. So I'm gonna have to decide about this $167 one time versus $39.99. This $39.99 has a lot of the stuff I want, but to start off with, this may be good, but I don't know if I can transition out of it. I may need to go with the $39.99 first, and so that's what I'm looking at in regards to what I want to use with DAP. But there's a lot of the features in this higher end one, and so I'll. One of the upcoming videocasts, I'll let you know what I've decided to do there. Okay, now to Lead Pages. So here's Lead Pages, and one of the other things I didn't mention is very mobile compatible. So that is extremely important. And I think for you guys, you should be thinking about mobile as just as important as desktop. It's not an afterthought. It needs to be there, certainly needs to be there as completely compatible as possible with Android, iOS. These users need to have the same great experience they'll have on the desktop. They should not be restricted to certain areas of your website just because they're on mobile. They should be able to go in, contact you if they want, read all your blogs, play your videos, log into the membership area, buy things. It should be the complete experience. Now, Lead Pages has that. We look at pricing here. So what I am planning to do is go with this middle one here in the orange. That's $40 a month you pay annually, but the reason why is because of this A/B split testing. And I think these lead links will also be very useful in doing conversions. So these lead links, you click them, it pops up a window, and people can sign in or sign up. They've been proven to convert well. And Lead Pages also start you off with a number of templates. You can see how well they have converted because other people have used these templates, and so they provide feedback. And that's just a great system for starting off with already a high converting template. Now here's the monthly, so I might do it for 3 months or so just to make sure I'm completely happy with it. I am hesitant to jump into something for a year, pay for a whole year, and there's no way to refund it because you might find out 2 or 3 months later, just something in there that becomes a deal breaker. And if you buy it for the year, you're stuck. So I may just eat the higher cost for a little bit and go with monthly on that to make sure I am happy with it. Here's Vimeo. And for Vimeo, I'm looking at their Plus service. So here's the Plus service. 5 gigabytes a week. That means you can upload it. You can upload 5 gigabytes worth each week, and that's going to do just fine for me. Unlimited storage. So here's the embedding, which I definitely want. Domain privacy, certainly. And it's $60 a year. You can't really beat that for storage, great streaming, and video player. All right, so that is my strategy going forward and what I plan to do. Optimize Press, I'll have that up and running fairly soon, so there'll be a new look to the website. Lead Pages is going to tack on pretty quick too. And I am also going to be doing this design. I'll be getting that going really quick. So if you want to see how that goes, because there's going to be a competition, I believe you can open it up and let your customers look at the designs as they're being worked on. So if you guys want to see some of this in progress work, just sign up at Bite Size Business School. You can sign up right on the home page. To get on my mailing list, I'm going to let my mailing list know what's going on, and that way you can then go and look at the work in progress at 99 Designs and keep up with a lot of the other things I'm going to be doing throughout this process. This blogcast that I'm doing is just to be very transparent about what's going on and how I'm able to accomplish these things as just one person, because there's no one else doing this but me right now. And I think by sharing this, you'll get a lot of tips out of how you can accomplish quite a bit in your business to get more converting traffic, meaning more people that are signing up to your email list and more people that are buying your products. Because everything I'm doing here is not just to make the site look great or because these are cool and fun things to play with, all these different services. It is strictly to get more revenue. Because as I mentioned earlier, for 2015, getting up to the next level in revenue is what the focus is. And that's about more growth, obviously, but there's certain things I've got to change to get there. And one of the big strategies is I've got to put courses on my own website and take control of that funnel. So I'll keep you posted with these videocasts as to how things are going, what I'm doing. And one other thing, I've got the podcast link here, which will likely go away. At this point, the podcast is just not really generating the traffic that I need for it to be a good return on investment. So it's extremely time consuming to do the podcast. It's a big production to get it sounding the way I want with intros and outros, and then the middle music, and distributing it to the different services. And I need things that I can just click off very quick, that have great return on them. The podcast is not doing that, so it likely will go away, but I will keep doing the video cast because that's pretty quick. I can record this just like I'm doing here. I've got a video. I can upload it to YouTube. Done. And just post back probably to my blog is what I will be doing. So you can see them all there. Or you can just view them directly on YouTube. Either way. But that is going to conclude this podcast, this video cast rather. And I will let you know once the next one's out. But like I said, a better way to know is to just sign up to my email list here. And you also get the Entrepreneur's Guide to Info Product Marketing, which is going to show you some really great ways to make sure you're picking a product that people are going to want to buy. You'll be able to find out what your competition is doing, good pricing areas, if the product has demand. So it goes a lot in depth into helping you figure out if the product is going to be viable for you to pursue it, create it, bring it into the world, and start making money with it. Okay, I will talk to you next time. Thank you. If you want more YouTube tips, click on the top left video. And if you want to check out all the playlists on my channel, just click on the bottom left video. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe and get all of my latest updates.